let's give you this quick market update now. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange likely to strengthen today as the all-share index catches up with the other world markets after the public holiday. Brent crude was nearly 3% higher in early trade from $106 on Friday. For an update now on these and other business stories, we're joined by Andile Buthelezi, equity analyst at Sentio Capital. Mr. Buthelezi, thank you very much for your time. Give us your general picture of how the markets have opened in early trade.
Good morning to you and to the viewers. Good start to our session this morning. We are playing catch up to the rest of the world. Yes, we were close, but the rest of the world definitely wasn't. So key themes playing across global markets yesterday. Of course, the tensions between Russia and the Ukraine continue to dominate how the market moves. But we also did hear some hawkish comments coming out of the Fed Chair Jerome Powell last night, which then negatively influenced how the U.S. markets actually traded. So U.S. markets finished in the red, but this morning Asian markets did open and did finish in the green slightly, so which then also helped to influence how we opened. We opened in the green this morning, with some of the mining companies definitely dominating, positioning in the green there. We've got Thungela Resources up 6.5%, but BHP also up about 5%, Anglo American up equally just as strongly. So those three companies definitely doing what they can to help ensure that the JSE opens in the green this morning.
You're talking about a number of companies there. We'll talk company news in a bit. Let's talk first about the commodity prices. It's been a roller coaster in the last few weeks. How are they faring at the start of the week?
Yeah, definitely been a roller coaster. Of course, again, driven by what's going on in Russia. We have seen commodities such as oil, platinum group metals, so platinum, palladium, and rhodium, as well as thermal coal behaving quite volatilely over the last few weeks. Oil prices, they were up about 6% in yesterday's session. Big news coming out there is that the EU now is debating whether or not to join the US in banning Russian energy imports. Of course, that's a big move, and companies like Germany, who's a very strong member of the EU, of course, arguing against that just because of how reliant they are on Russian imports, of course. So that debate's still very much going on, but the mere fact that the guys are having the debate was enough to ensure that there was upward pressure on oil prices. So oil prices this morning trading at around $118 per barrel, still very much on the wrong side of that $100 per barrel level from a South African perspective, of course. Some of the other commodities, if I have a look here, palladium is slightly down, trading at around $2,500 an ounce. Platinum just at around $1,000 an ounce. Rhodium as well, just at around $18,000 an ounce. So if you think about what's happened over the last few weeks, those PGM prices have risen quite strongly in reaction to the market panicking about Russia, of course, basically not being able to export all of the palladium and the rhodium that they produce. And given the fact that Russia produces about 40% of global palladium demand, that's why we've seen such a rise in palladium prices. But as tensions slightly began to ease, we have seen some of those prices begin to pull back.
Yeah, let's talk company news then. Attack publishing their interim financial results for the 6 months, which ended on the 31st of December 2021. How did the group perform in the period under review?
Yeah, so if you think about Attack, this is the company that's largely responsible for all of the development that we're seeing across the Waterfall region. Their portfolio is quite diversified, spanning across retail, hotel, office, as well as the industrial sector. Look, it's been a tough few years for property companies in general. One of the key things that landlords across the board had to do to ensure that the survival of their business, of course, was to push through rental discounts to their tenants. And yes, this would have hurt their turnover, but at least it ensured that they had tenants for when this crisis subsides. So the values of the properties reduced, the footfall within their properties reduced. So very, very much navigating a very tough situation. And if you think about what that then did to their distributable income per share, which is a key metric when you're looking at property companies, this time last year, that was down in excess of 50%. So this time around, very much an improvement. Distributable income per share was up about 34%. So very much an improvement, but the base is low. And yes, we're heading in the right direction, but still very much a long way to go in terms of getting back to where these companies were pre-COVID. Having a look at some of the other key metrics here, they managed to reduce their debt levels by about 1.6 billion rand. that helped reduce their gearing from around 43% to about 38%. So yeah, I think generally a decent result from them within the context in which these property companies are operating, of course.
Let's conclude the conversation, Andile, with Storage, which has announced the acquisition of 4 properties in the UK. Talk us through those developments and what they mean for the group's service offering.
Yeah, so the key message they're putting across here is that is scale, basically. They do have a presence in the UK already via an entity called Storage Kings, I think it's called. Within the property, they have around 13 properties that they run, and that they first went in there about 4 years ago. It seems like it's been going quite well for them. They're increasing the number of properties now to about 30. So basically, they're increasing their presence within the UK. They do have a partner that they run these operations with, and that is a partner that is based in the UK that specializes in running properties in the UK. So at least they have on the ground presence, because we have seen how South African companies that go into these developed market regions thinking that they can just reapply all the learnings from this side into a different market. Unfortunately, some of them haven't fared quite as well as they would like to have fared. So going there with a partner that has boots on the ground definitely is probably the better way to do it when you're making acquisitions of this nature. So yeah, basically very much scaling, and for their sake, hopefully it goes well. But I think they should be careful in terms of growing too quickly in regions in which they do not specialize.
Andile Buthelezi, thank you very much for that market update.